And the Daily Atheist Morning Show is here. What's up, Chris?
Oh, John, look who shows up first.
Yeah, don't let him in here.
I'm not gonna let him in for long. I just want to be like, damn douchebag. You're even showing that pretty face.
I'm beautiful.
Real quick before you go, I forgot to tell you the other night. I was in the live chat. I wasn't in the stream with you. And I saw Chris, the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I gave him a wrench knock.
I used to be obese, and then I found Jesus Christ, and now I look like this.
So you found Jesus Christ, and now all you do is drink grape juice and eat wafers, and you lost a lot of weight. Is that what's up?
I learned, like, take care of your body is your temple for God, right? So, like, good Christians gotta be healthy.
Really? Why is there so many fat fucking Christians then?
Because Satan infiltrated the church, and he was like, "You're saved by grace alone. You don't have to do anything," and that's a lie.
It's because cheesecake is good.
I wish I could eat cheesecake, but I love Jesus Christ more than cheesecake.
What do you eat now? You got like a big lollipop there? Oh, that's your mic. Okay, never mind. So
I always think it's like a little mini fan that he's got up to his face.
So come on in, Chris. Come on in, Gio. Anybody else who wants to get in here, because we can't make a stream with just P Mars.
Well, we can. I mean, it would be interesting if Ranty Chris would come up in here, because you've been trolling the Daily Atheist Morning Show lately. I don't know if you're following me or if you're just finding different atheists to try to troll.
I like talking to atheists. So,
well, so what about atheists? And I'm gonna really quickly. I'm gonna unplug my headphones so I'll be able to hear you. But I'm gonna go check on my daughter, make sure she's good. What about atheists do you really like talking about PMARS?
Well, I kind of like. I believe we're in this society of lies. Like, Satan is the master of deception. So,
do tell.
Yeah, everyone's believing lies, even Christians, and the more lies people believe, the more the truth will make them like mad and upset and emotional and stuff. So I think it's funny, kind of just to tell.
What's an example of one of the pervasive lies in society that you think Satan has perpetuated?
A big one right now is this idea of white privilege, of the fact that just because I'm born white or something, I have some benefit that like I can get ahead without working hard.
Well, no, it's not. That's not the point of the idea of white privilege, that you automatically can get ahead just because you're white. It's that in some instances you are afforded more opportunity. You're afforded more of a equal playing ground than people of color. And you're absolutely right, though. Jake 4D popped in, then he popped out. Oh, there he is. I mean,
there's Puff. I'm sure Jake will be back.
So the thing is, we did it again. I'm sorry, Knock. I thought you said you were going, and we just did it again. Go ahead, Knock.
I'm gonna. You push the button.
All right. I thought you were AFK anyway.
Yeah, I just got back.
I mean, because the thing is it's not that white privilege means that all white people should feel guilty about the fact that they have more opportunity than people of color in certain instances. It's a recognition of the fact that there's a societal problem that we need to fix. And that's not true of all. Like, I know many successful black people. I mean, we had a black president. There's, captains of industry, doctors, surgeons, business owners, entrepreneurs. So black people have had opportunities, but in certain economic strata, they don't have those opportunities. and they get treated differently by the cops and by other institutions. And then what happens is even some black people that really get ahead in the world, like there's black lawyers and black doctors that have been pulled over by the police just because maybe they were in a part of town that normally you don't see black people, or because the cops are just so headstrong in their head that, we're going to stop a black person if we see him.
And P. Mars isn't alone. I recently had this conversation with S.J. Thomason. She thinks that it's fake as well. And I had to explain to her, that you can be poor, be white, and still have white privilege. White privilege isn't about, you're automatically going to be rich living in this lavish lifestyle just because you're a white dude. White privilege is the ability to get into a car and not worry about if that's the day you're going to die. That's white privilege to a T. You cannot sit here and say honestly that you have gotten into your car one time in your life, P. Mars, and said, this is the day I die, just from getting in my car.
Given the same set of circumstances, the same social situation, the same economic situation, the same location, a white person is much less likely to be targeted or harassed or arrested or killed, especially by the police, than a person of color.
I think that's a lie. It has nothing to do with skin color. It has to do with family values and the lack of moral
not at all. Yeah, I mean, you just whiffed that one big time.
That's just your racism.
That's right. That's one of the reasons why we call you a piece of shit racist, P. Mars. The thing is, I think that Skylar put it well. I was on a stream of his here like a week or so ago, and like he talked about when he was like a teen, and he was younger and doing bad shit. And Skylar said, the fact of the matter is, he goes, I've gotten pulled over before, but I was always able to escape, because look at the color of my skin, yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Officer. And, maybe he had some weed in the car or something, but they didn't search it. If in the same situation, if they stopped a black person for whatever, a moving violation or something, damn well, in most cases, they're going to try and find some way to search that vehicle.
No, they're not. Cops aren't racist. That's a communist lie.
Wait. What about what I just said entails that I was saying cops were racist?
I don't believe it. I think you're
wait, stop. Listen to the question I asked you. I said, what about what I just said before you started speaking entailed that I was saying cops are racist? When did I say cops were racist?
Didn't you say people got off getting in trouble because he was white or something?
Well, no, what I said is that a white person that I know, Skylar Fiction, said that when he was younger and maybe not doing some good shit, that if he got pulled over by a cop, he was able to, talk to the cop and get away. And what I said was, in the same situation, if it had been a black man, the cops would have found whatever excuse they could to search that vehicle just because of the color of their skin. And that's
not true.
Okay, how is that not true, though?
Cops don't treat people differently based on the color of their skin. They treat people differently based on crimes they commit.
I can prove you wrong. Wait a second.
I want you to get in Puff because this is a big issue of Puff's. But I just want to say real quick, what fucking planet do you live on, P. Mars? Because you don't live on Earth if that's what you truly believe. Yeah,
you're a victim of communist propaganda. If you read communist manuals, they talk about taking advantage of people's distrust in the police, and they specifically mention the differences in race and using this to tear apart the social fabric of society.
Cool. So I think we might be going about this the wrong way. I sat back and I listened for a little bit of your brimming commentary, P. Mars, and so you at first stated that a biblical character, namely the devil, was actively spreading lies. So a supernatural entity is entering the corporeal world and is lying to people, spreading pervasive lies, and you've connected it to communism. And I wanted to ask sort of how are you observing this happen?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He based his question on something you just said a few minutes ago.
Okay, what was the first thing that you said when you entered this hangout?
How am I observing Satan?
No. What was the first thing that you said when you entered this room?
I don't remember.
It was not even 5 minutes ago.
I don't remember a minute ago.
Yeah, P Mars is not very bright.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I don't even really know what to say. I think he's trolling. But go ahead, Drag.
Okay.
Well, I'm better looking than Drag though.
Okay.
No,
If he's just trolling, then that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I was going to ask too. I asked you this the other day. Are you a Poe? You're a Poe, aren't you?
No.
So I think what Drag is asking you, P Mars, is what information do you have that this is all a communist lie?
They wrote about it in their manuals. There was a black guy. I'm trying to think about it. He wrote a book about this. This black guy who's a part of the. I can go find his name. I have to look it up. He was a part of the civil rights movement, and he found out that the civil rights movement in the '60s was working with communists, and it's all a fucking lie and a scam.
And you believe him?
They don't even care about black people. They're actually destroying black people because you think about people like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. They don't profit off success of the black community. They profit off this lie of like, oh, black people are being oppressed, blah, 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 right? And so like they're making money off of this lie of black oppression. So there's financial incentive for these people
What are they selling?
to keep black people down, and that's what they do. People like LeBron James and they're trying to keep the black community down.
Right. So how is Jesse Jackson keeping the black people down? I'm very curious.
By spreading lies like the white people oppress black people and all this stuff.
How did they do that exactly?
You know, Jesse Jackson, he Martin Luther King Jr. didn't like him.
That's not what I was asking.
And
That's fine. So how is Jesse Jackson spreading lies?
he pretended to have like blood on his shirt and
That's
told
cool.
the press
That's so cool. So
that he was holding Martin Luther King Jr. in his arms while he died, and it was
cool.
all a lie.
Oh, it's all cool.
He wanted to position himself to be a civil rights leader so he could take advantage of black people. And so that's why he was associated with Martin Luther King Jr. and he lied about like holding him while he was dying, and he put fake blood on his shirt.
Okay, cool. So how is Jesse Jackson? Is he passing around memos? Is a text message? How is he lying to all the black people?
Well, he's been, he's a propaganda. He's a talking head for the black community. He's being used.
What? Okay, when you say black community,
wait, real quick. You said he's a talking head for the black community. Just a minute ago, you said that he was using the black community for his own purposes. He profits off the lie that white people oppress blacks.
Okay, cool. So I've never met Jesse Jackson in my life. How is he disseminating any of this information?
How are they even profiting off of it? What are they selling, like a fucking booklet? What?
I don't know. None of this makes sense.
He's pretty wealthy.
Okay, so I've never met him in my life. How is he disseminating any of this information, this propaganda that you speak of?
Through his buddies with the CIA and their propaganda machine.
It's a CIA op that he's.
Yeah. Have you ever read the book, The CIA in the World of Arts and Letters by Francis Stoner Saunders?
No, I was too busy getting an actual education. So
it's a pretty interesting book.
The
CIA are behind all the entertainment.
Cool.
Hey, P Mars, let Drag talk.
So the family members that I have that have never met Jesse Jackson ever in his life, how are they being impacted by this mysterious CIA op that none of us have ever encountered at all? And mind you, most of my family have been involved with the Department of Defense for the last probably 40-something years.
The whole environment is propaganda.
That doesn't answer my question. What was my question,
Education,
P. Mars.
Religion,
P. Mars. What was my
cinema.
question? P. Mars, listen. What was my
Bertrand Russell said education was the most influential form of modern propaganda.
P. Mars, what was my question?
I don't know.
I know. I'm aware.
Hey, Puff, you want?
Hello.
John Peterson doesn't believe in God, eating healthy, or exercise.
Oh boy, this is why I'm pro-choice.
All I'm gonna first of all, I'm gonna say the troll level is over 9,000. Man, if this is your troll face, if this is the face you use for trolling folks, if you can straight face it like this, I gotta see what your poker game is like. It's got to be over the top, dude. You're straight facing
eating healthy or exercise.
But
why don't atheists want to eat healthy or exercise?
Because they want to troll people with their troll faces.
Why do atheists think it's cool to just be like fat, disgusting slobs?
Well, I don't know how at 5'9" and 145 pounds I'm a fat, disgusting slob, but all right, all right. So I heard you say, that you don't believe there is a bias in our culture that favors white people, right?
Right.
Okay, so simple thing. You said the cops don't treat people differently, right? I get pulled over for a brake light that's out. The cop comes to the window. I hand him my license and my registration, or license and insurance card. I'm sorry. And he goes back to his car. He runs my license. He runs my insurance. Everything comes back clean. Everything's good. He comes back to the car. Hey, get that fixed. And I'm on my way. My wife gets pulled over. Same thing. Minimum 30, 45 minutes. Minimum.
Is she a person of color? Because for reference here.
Yes, absolutely. She's a black girl. So
You couldn't figure that out.
Get pulled over
with
a license.
it's
Just
same
making
exact
sure.
thing, right? And I've had the cop harassing her, like, threatening her with other stuff. And then when I come up on the scene, oh, hey, yeah, it's just a brake light, man. Just don't worry about it. Go ahead and get it taken care of, right? So,
But is the only difference your skin color? Like maybe you're respectful and she's up.
no, my wife is one of the most respectful people. I'm an asshole, and I have like a sailor's mouth. No, it's not me. But it's just the color of my skin. I have red hair, blue eyes, and parchment white skin.
He's trolling.
This man is
Yeah.
trolling you,
So,
folks, guys. Yeah, he's
I'm
trolling you
gonna
guys
call
hardcore.
I'm going to call it right now, just by the use of that word. You're a fucking po. You're just trying to get a reaction out of people.
mean
Nobody
P-Mars?
uses that word unless they're a dead-up racist or trying to get a reaction. And
P-Mars
you're a
is a
fucking...
troll. Yeah, he's a troll.
I'm not. Is
Some
that a
people
new
shouldn't
word
be
you're
allowed
not
a
allowed to
voice.
use?
That's rude.
All right,
The
so
left
yeah,
is
I
censoring so many words now. I lose track.
all right.
So,
I put P Mars backstream. So let me take over real quick, John. I knew this like when P Mars was the first one to come into the room. I knew what this was going to be about because I banned him from the channel and John banned him from the channel over his racist remarks. So he is here just being straight, as racist as he can be without being obviously racist. So that's what he's doing. Anytime that anybody wants P Mars gone, he's gone. And I would like Skylar to jump in. Chris is here. Jake is here. Please feel free. But like he is trolling, so I just want that to be apparent.
If he was just genuinely being an ignorant ass racist, I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm used to people of low intellect like that. But if he's just being like a really shitty troll, then it's not even a challenge. It's not fun at that point.
Well,
So,
he is genuinely a racist, I believe. I think that he honestly believes this shit. He's not prepared to have the argument, obviously, because like if you're gonna make a claim like it's all communism, you'd at least come with some actual things that you could reference towards that. But I will put him back into the room. Anybody that just if you just get tired of him, let me know or let John know, and we'll ounce him.
yeah, I'm gonna take off. My IQ is lowered enough dealing with.
Yeah.
Good seeing you, Drag.
Later, Drag.
I'll
man.
catch y'all later.
Please, brother.
Yeah, thanks for hopping in, Drag.
see you, Drag.
Oh,
See
man.
what you did, P Mars?
You moved everyone. I have a thing
I mean, we
to
could
say,
quote
P-Mars.
data and stuff if we wanted to, but I don't think he'd believe the data if we showed him.
Yeah,
So
data
what's the
would-
relevance?
Yeah,
Yeah,
facts don't matter to people like that.
Yeah.
So you guys, NASA.
If white privilege is real, shouldn't you put him backstage instead of me?
Oh my god. All right. So
I don't think you understand what white privilege is. I'm guessing you just don't really understand. Well, no, this is troll move. He knows what it is. He's just being a troll.
Yeah,
it's a waste of time. This is almost like having Darth Dawkins come on your channel. He's just trolling and wasting your time to suck whatever's going on the channel to him. Look at him.
It's why he's actually on screen. So you know what? It is an open room. P Mars, hang out in the backstage as long as you want. I want a healthy conversation though.
Wait, before you get rid of him, I got to ask him a question.
I'll let you do it, John, because I'm going to text my brother real quick.
All right, yeah. So you alluded to communism a few times. Could you define communism?
Red.
That's a good question. I'm not really good at defining things.
Well, if you don't know what communism is, how can you compare things to it as you do?
Honestly, I don't think there's a difference between capitalism and communism because they're both.
You're fantastic.
Both capitalism and communism support sovereignty of the state.
There's no way you're huffing that much paint before you came on the stream. This has got to be troll level 5 million.
You need an ideology that opposes the state. The state is out of control.
Your blood is red.
I don't see the thing about it is I don't even think it's good trolling in a sense, right? Because good trolls, like they actually kind of convince you that it's real. Like Jill is a good troll. Like you can kind of buy into that Jill is actually a troll. Like I don't buy for a minute PMAR is like this at all. Oh yeah, you're not a troll. You can't even wipe the grit off your face, bro, as you're saying.
You
this
really
shit.
can't.
Yeah, that's the funny thing.
Yeah, no,
like you're not gonna troll a troll, bro. Like you can't do it.
That is the hilarious thing. Like he's got that smile on his face that I used to have when I'd prank call people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's a book about the video game Rage.
Yes,
No,
yes, you could buy.
You could buy a book. I read about this stuff. Like I got.
I don't believe you.
P. Mars, who reads it to you?
Yeah. If you can't remember something that someone said a minute ago, but you're reading books like that, there's some kind of contradiction there, right? Because you wouldn't be able to retain the information from those books if you can't even remember what someone says 2 minutes ago. So we know you're full of shit. That's why we know you're trolling right now.
Well, I don't retain the information, but it provokes thought. Like I like to think about things.
You wouldn't remember it. It would be gone in 2 minutes.
It doesn't matter though.
It doesn't matter. I just like what isn't it like fish that like goldfish only remember something for like 7 seconds or something?
It's in my unconscious memory.
Yeah.
I will say this: you are pretty. You're pretty, P. Mars, but you're not bright.
I was gonna say, is it just the feeling of the words sliding off over your smooth brain that's like the book is for, or like?
See, I think he is smart. That's what I'm saying. I think he is smart, but he's just not a good troll. I think he probably knows his shit. I think if you were to get him in a room alone and he wasn't playing this part right now, he's probably an intelligent person. But I think this is completely an act. That's what I find.
We're giving him what he wants.
I think Skylar's onto something.
Yeah,
I really do.
We're giving him.
I'm a conspiracy person. Like I was a 9/11 truther back in the day.
So do you really think that your body is the Lord's temple?
Well, look at it; it's amazing.
Well, you've got it backwards. You're supposed to offer up food and sacrifice, giving the sacrifice to God.
He's offering.
No. Because Jesus Christ, we don't have to make sacrifices anymore. He was the sacrifice, so we don't sacrifice to God.
Mars, you make all my brain cells want to commit suicide, dude.
Guys, I think about it. He's actually good, right?
I will say, and I'm gonna let John kick. I mean, please have fun with P. Mars. John will keep him on as long as you guys. I mean, I will be stepping out. CJ, you are in the chat. I would love for you to come in and CJ, have a conversation.
And CJ, let me put it to this way: please come in, and we'll get rid of P. Mars. P. Mars will be gone as soon as you get in. Because oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
I just want to say I gotta go away for a little bit. I want to say bye. I'll be back in an hour or so. It's nice to meet you, P. Mars.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I like your show.
You know what? I've seen you. We do our thing in the chat. It's like a game, you know. But it's nice to meet you. Have a great night. I'll probably see you whenever I get back. The rest of you guys, see you in a bit.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully we'll see you, Chris.
All right,
Mars is a himbo.
And if CJ does come in, please, let's not be too gangy up on him. But like PMARS, so we banned you because of consistent trolling. You've been excommunicated now from your little Christian group because Smokey kicked you out. So do you think that this whole strategy is working for you?
I'm honestly not trolling. I understand my views are radical and heretical. So like I can get why you think I'm a troll.
Okay, but wait. What about what Skylar brought up a few minutes ago? You say something kind of shitty, or with that has some, import to it, as far as racism or other topics, and you can't keep the smile off your face. That's why we're convinced it's an act, man. Like you don't say shit you say and smile while you're doing it.
I have a sense of humor. I consider myself a comedian, but like my views are crazy. Like I'm an anarchist and then a Christian at the same time, which is kind of like.
All right, I'm going to take one more stab at asking you a real honest, deep question here, man. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Not a fucking enough.
How many boards would the Mongols hoard if the Mongol hordes got bored?
That's actually clever. I like that.
Yeah, I never heard that.
I've never heard that before.
That's
what I'm talking about. That's what I told you guys.
That's from
Calvin.
That's from Calvin and Hobbes.
I love it. Let me ask you, P-Bar. I'll ask you. This will do it here, right? So if I were to quote a study about the city of Ferguson, done by the Justice Department, right? And it was in between 2012 2014. It says black people in Ferguson accounted for 85% of the vehicle stops, 90% of the citations, and 93% of the arrests, despite only comprising of 67% of the population. And then I were to add to it, not only that is a fact, but they would be 26% less likely for them to find contraband like guns or drugs in their car. How would you explain that disparagement in the numbers?
I believe that these are facts. I think there could be. I don't know. There could be factors outside of skin color that were like. I think really a big factor is family values and moral character. I really think that's a big factor.
Sure, but that wouldn't have anything. A cop wouldn't know someone's moral values or anything before pulling them over.
Well, I mean, these cops are probably going to places where crime occurs. So,
but remember the statistic I said, right? The statistic said that black people were 26% less likely to have drugs and contraband in their car. So obviously, if the cops are going to want to pull over the people who have the most drugs or the most contraband, so it doesn't really statistically make sense. And Ferguson isn't necessarily doesn't have a high murder rate by any means, right? It's okay just to say I don't know to the answer instead of trying to make up something on the spot.
I mean,
it's perfectly
I don't know. I don't know. I think like science is being used to push policies, and I think when politics and science intermingle, that there's a lot of corruption going on there. So I don't really trust like studies that support with like something that's about the political climate.
Well, let me give you an analogy, right? Let's say you owned a business, right? And somewhere you were losing money somehow. Somehow your business is losing money. So what you do is you obviously want to use some type of scientific method, right? Come and figure out, have somebody look at it, do tests, study the data of what's happening to figure out how you're losing money, right? How does that corrupt the system in that sense?
Well, I think power corrupts, and even like science, it was designed to be anti-dogmatic and a pursuit for truth, but inevitably an institution forms, and it becomes more about power than about what the original.
Just stick with my example, though. Like my example would be great. Like how, like that's what, like you're kind of just making a blanket statement, but without justification for it, right? And that's my point. Like if there's some form of justification for that, that's fair. I'm not saying that people of power, power doesn't corrupt people. I totally agree. But we're not necessarily talking about power in this situation. We're just talking about study and data and the science of it, right? Science isn't necessarily the power in the context which you're using it here.
Well, that's my thing, though, is I believe we're living in a scientific dictatorship. That's what I think is the current system right now. Eisenhower, when he gave the farewell address, he actually warned about this scientific elite that would use science.
You're talking about the military-industrial complex.
Yeah, he also warned us about science. Politicians use science to manipulate us.
Can you share your screen and show us where it says that in the speech?
Yeah.
And just to really point out, though, but this is really a diversion on your part, and I don't know if you're doing it intentionally. I won't blame you and say you're doing it intentionally, but you've diverted from the actual point, and that was what the data says. And you just dismissed it by saying there's corruption, but you've connected no corruption to that particular data point. You're just saying that it's corrupt.
I believe the data, like the way modern propaganda works, is they'll give you facts, right? And the facts are true, and you can go look up the facts, and they're accurate. And I believe that and everything, but like the lie is in the narrative, that's the lie. So like this narrative,
there's merit to that. What you're saying here, I'm not saying that you're right. People do that with the racism stuff, right? They do the FBI crime statistics, and they'll say like black people by percentage kill more murder, right? You can manipulate that data to fit a narrative, right? But like what I'm asking for, if that's fine, but you need to explain how that is actually happening and what I'm talking about. Because that would be fair. If you could point out, hey, this is how they're manipulating the data to push a narrative, fair enough. I'll correct myself. But right now, you're just saying they're manipulating the data for a particular narrative and not explaining what the narrative is.
Yeah, I don't like my research. I haven't looked at specific studies in science. Like I more look at philosophy in the overview. I look at I've looked at Aldous Huxley gave a speech at Berkeley titled "The Ultimate Revolution," and he thought the future societies would be controlled by a scientific dictatorship where people would be brainwashed by pharmacological methods, which would enhance the brainwashing to make people love their servitude. And I think that's what, like, the future we have right now is kind of like the Brave New World pattern he wrote in his book.
I think what's more realistic, because I am actually, funny enough, I'm reading Brave New World right now, but I think what's really actually happening is it's more like Animal Farm, where we have people like Trump, who is Napoleon, the pig, right? And it's, they claim some type of like moral authority, but in action, they're contradicting everything of the morals that they claim, right? So it's kind of like this, the book Animal Farm.
Napoleon, was he the one that got assassinated?
No, that was Snowflake. Is it Snowflake? What's the name of the other one? Snowball. Snowball.
The old mayor.
No. Old Mayor was the prophet. So Old Mayor was the one, the prophet. And remember, you had Snowball and Napoleon, which always argued with each other. And then Napoleon, took the puppies when they were very young, right, and trained them to be able to attack at the right moment. And they ran Snowball off. Right. Now, the prophet was the one who came out and said, hey, these are the moral laws. All animals are created equal. Like, you can't wear human clothes. You can't do human things. Right. But then the pigs, because they're the most clever of all the animals. Right. They're the ones who exploit it. And eventually what happens is because originally Snowball was kind of like the good character. He tried to teach people to read. He taught animals how to write. They had written all the laws on the barn wall, and slowly, because of greed and selfishness, which reminds me a lot of Donald Trump, basically he's a hypocrite. He does all the things that they originally came up with, the revolution was about. But now they live in the house, the pigs live in the house, they eat the human food, they do all the things. And then you have like their, they have Squealer, which is Napoleon's like, voice, right? But it's this whole idea, it's even like 1984 in a sense, where truth is lies and lies is truth. And when we have a president like ours, they're constantly, he's claiming things that haven't happened. Yeah.
Animal Farm's about the Bolshevik Revolution. And I feel like we're going through a revolution right now with like Black Lives Matter, and the pandemic is totally changing society. similar to like a revolution.
Sure. Yeah, there's a revolution happening.
I would agree with that.
But it's not this. That book isn't. It was written at the time. That book is way deeper than just about the Bolsheviks, right? This is about power. This is what I'm kind of like. I'm kind of adding to what you're saying. Yeah. Well, it's not absolute. It's this idea of like the hypocrisy, right, of our leaders.
That's true. Like they would do the things that they would go against the rules that they created, and Trump is guilty of that. But I would say that people on the left too. I've seen a story where Nancy Pelosi got her hair cut, right?
Sure.
But she was pushing rules to ban people from getting their hair cut. So that was hypocritical. Another instance of animal farm.
Sure. Yeah. There's a hypocrisy all over politics. There's no doubt, right? But I would argue though, for anybody out there, I mean, Trump is beyond like what we're talking about here. Like this is someone
I would agree.
Just like this is a guy just literally they had him on audio saying he's downplaying the coronavirus, and then he literally last night in a town hall when someone's like, "Hey, you said you downplayed the coronavirus," he's like, "No, I never said that." It's like I upplayed it. It's like it's literally 1984 where truth is lies, and the fact that like people support him and are going to vote for him, like the things that I find that people that complain about the left all the time are like, oh, the left are trying to do this and that. Literally, the leader they're voting for is the person who's committing all these kind of actions. It's insanity.
Well, yeah, I was talking about that the last couple mornings on the damn show, to where we heard all of these things for 8 years about Obama running up the deficit. He's working with the Muslims. He's trying to start a revolution. He's going to run for a third term. All of these things, right? Trump is doing all of those things. And those people that were saying that about Obama are literally stroking the asshole of Donald Trump right now. So, I mean, it's complete hypocrisy.
Gun regulation. They said Obama was your gun. First president since Bill Clinton to put a gun regulation in place was Trump.
Yep.
Right. So I mean, this candidate is so corrupt. They're out of money because they spent so much money on like giving people cars and bullshit. I got agreed. So yeah, no. What I would say is like you can't be more. And I don't know if you're serious or not. You seem to be a little bit more serious now. But like this idea that like racism is an issue in this country or like people aren't racist, it's just ridiculous. The data says otherwise. Human interaction, you could just see it everywhere you go.
Yeah,
I think we're the least racist country.
All right,
in the history
PMARS. Did you ever play guns as a child? Toy guns, right? Just toy guns.
Probably.
So you got your toy gun, right? Did you ever worry about dying because you carried a toy gun?
I mean, I remember there were kids getting shot.
Did you personally ever worry that you would be killed for having a toy gun?
I don't think so, but I don't think it's because I'm white.
All right, so Tamar Rice is dead because he had a toy gun. The police rolled up on him, and 5 seconds later, he was shot and killed. So, I mean, the data is there, my man. You're talking a bunch of bullshit in the face of all this data, right? White privilege is a thing. Now, we're not sitting here blaming. I'm white, dude. Like, so I talk about Native American issues a lot. I have Native American industry, but I've always maintained I am a white guy. I am a dude that grew up in privilege, and I didn't know it. Right. And I'm not a rich man by any means. I'm a working guy. I work 40, 60 hours a week and I barely make it through. But I have privilege and I can see that because I get into my car and I don't worry that I'm going to get pulled over and I'm going to breathe my last air of breath. I don't worry that my child, who's 10 years old, is a girl but happens to like toy guns, that she's going to go outside and the police are going to roll up on her and fucking murder her. That is white privilege.
Yeah, my cousins posted a meme on Facebook. They're Trump supporters about white privilege. The white privilege is a myth. I worked hard and got everything I earned, and I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand white privilege, right? Yeah, it's if you both work hard and you and a black person are standing there for a job, they're going to hire you because you're white, not hire them because they're black. That's white privilege. It's not that you can get it. You have a job because you work for it. I can understand how people
Exactly.
don't understand it.
Yeah.
I think you guys are ridiculous. Like, I'm not a Trump supporter.
But wait a minute, though.
right?
Wait. And it was like I was trying to tell you before, too, like with the example of that I was telling you about that Skylar gave on his stream about how he could, and then Puff, gave the same kind of example. And with what Bob just brought up, about jobs, about your chances of getting a job, are different. And that's not to say, we're not trying to say that everybody in society is racist, because that's not the case. Even in the situation with the cops scrutinizing a black driver more than they would a white driver, that doesn't necessarily entail that even the cops that are doing that stop are themselves racist. They're doing racist things because it's part of the system they belong to. Now, there are racist cops out there that are doing it just because they're dirtbag racist.
Wait. What law the system created that only affects white people and doesn't affect black people or vice versa?
That has nothing to do with it.
PMars, don't make me pull up my list of Jim Crow laws, please.
Yeah. Well, but he's trying to intimate that happens now, and it just doesn't.
Yeah, that's a serious misunderstanding.
You guys are ridiculous. You guys are totally ridiculous. Like, okay, I'm not.
PMars, hold on. It's just like the other day when you were here and in chat, you said I was calling you a racist for the shit you were saying, and you said, "When have I ever oppressed a black person?" Okay, I know. There's some people out there that make the argument about the power dynamic, but you don't have to personally have oppressed a black person to be a racist. Just like you asked about laws. Who cares what the law is? It's about interactions between human beings, irrespective.
If I'm not hurting black people, who the hell cares if I'm racist? I'm not hurting anyone. And you guys are totally off base and out of line. America, it's not perfect. It's corrupt. And I'm an anarchist, and I hate having to defend America. But we're the best system, the world's the most free, the most liberty. We have a nice thing here. You guys are like lost your minds. That we've created the most freedom, the most equal opportunity. This idea that we're racist is insanity. We let O.J. Simpson kill a white man.
You're so dumb. What are you even talking about right now, dude?
Just by being racist.
Money.
If the system is racist, why did they let O.J. kill white woman and white man?
Being racist is hurting other people because your racism affects the people around you and affects the attitudes of people around you. When do you think racism stopped in this country?
I don't think racism is a real thing. I think it was invented by communists.
Was antebellum slavery
America.
racist?
You guys are victims of communist propaganda, and you're destroying.
Just right back to Mars. Right back to the Mars.
History. Dude, I don't know why. There's some angry. You guys are angry.
Mars. All right. God
that's
damn it.
the trolling mode.
Yeah. Let Jake talk. You gotta let the other person get a word in. PMars. I understand you're trolling, but you've got to let the other person get in a word, or we'll just put you in the back room and we'll get our words in and bring you in to laugh and put you in the back room and get our words in. All of that shit.
Okay. Do you think that antebellum slavery was not racist? Is that what you're claiming?
I don't know what that is.
Antebellum, before the war, pre-Civil War slavery. Is that racist or not?
Fucking American slavery, PMar. Stop being stupid.
No, it's not racist.
You're a fucking idiot.
Would you consider?
Yeah, well, there was free black men.
Wait a second.
So it was racist.
In the Constitution, when it was originally written, the way it was written, a black person only counted for 3/5 of a person.
No, that was a slave. There was free black men.
You're okay. So, all right, shut up. You're talking about free black men in the North, second-class citizens that were still 3/5 of the vote. It was, what Puff is saying is exactly true. And you did have a lot of really shitty people in the North sending slaves back to the South. You had a whole system where they were kidnapping free black men and sending them to the South. There was a movie that captured it brilliantly. I think it was 7 Years a Slave. this is all documented history, P. Mars. I mean, you're just literally either being a troll or just really stupid.
I don't think it was
Those
right.
are not
Well,
mutually
It
exclusive.
wasn't about skin color. If there was free black men, then it wasn't about skin color, was it? It was about slavery. Why are you making slavery a skin color issue?
So-
I don't
You
realize
are the
what's-
one who has been preoccupied. You are the one who is obsessed.
Wait a
with skin
second. Wait a
color.
second. Wait a second.
You guys are
So-
obsessed with skin
Hey,
color. I'm
hold on.
saying you
Hold
shouldn't
Hold
be
up, P.
concerned
Mars.
about
Hold up. Yeah, P. Mars, be quiet.
So then, okay, let's move on to Jim Crow laws, right? So in the Jim Crow laws, it specifically said that it was against the law for black children to learn to read, to know how to read. Not only that, it also was against the law for an of age black person to be unemployed. It wasn't illegal for white children to know how to read, and it was not illegal for white people to be unemployed.
Yeah, those things are those are immoral things. They're not. I wouldn't call it racist, right? I would say it's immoral.
It's
Like, instead
based
of-
purely on the color of your skin. Your parents, one of your parents could be, it could be a situation like my marriage. One of them's pale white guy, the other one's a black girl, right? So you could be the lightest skinned black person. If they say you're black, which we used to literally have a single drop rule, which was a single drop. If you can tell at all, you're not white, right? You're something that's not white. Our
Okay, well,
country was literally.
Bro, you're not going to convince him.
I don't
he's
believe
trolling
him. No, I'm not
he's
trolling.
not
I don't
worth the
believe in
time.
race.
You are,
I
you
don't
are
believe in
trolling.
race.
Dude, you don't. Yes.
Yeah.
Just because you don't believe there's a thing called race, or you don't believe there's a concept called racism, doesn't mean it's not true, right? You can believe or not believe whatever you want. I'm not going to take you seriously because I think you know damn well that the South, the people in the South were racist. I mean, they did enslave black folks. I think
What
you
they
know
did
damn
was
well.
they were
Right.
immoral. They were
It's
immoral.
It can be immoral and racist.
Call
at
them
the same
immoral.
time.
Don't call them racist.
Yes,
Well,
it's
how-
racist.
made up-
Hold on, no.
made
It's
up
okay. It's
ideology.
immoral. Hold on. It's immoral to kill somebody. It's also murdering somebody. You can use both terms, and it's still the same. Just because it's racist and immoral doesn't mean it can't. It's not one or the other, right?
No, that's the
that
trick.
logic fails. Your
No,
logic
no,
fails.
look.
That's the whole trick. though.
Look,
You-
wait,
you
wait,
use
wait, wait,
the word
wait, no,
racist.
wait, P. Mars, shut up. Racism entails immorality.
That's the trick. That's the lie.
No, it's not the lie.
Explaining why something's immoral, you just label it racist. And then the definition of racism can expand to all this stuff that's not immoral.
All right,
What
so
do
are
you
you
define as
hang on,
racism?
hang
What
on.
does he even
And then
mean
you
by
say that's
racism? That's what I don't
immoral.
understand. I
That's
don't understand
not
what
fair.
he's referring to as
It's a trick
racism.
to
Hang on.
make things that
Look.
aren't immoral are immoral.
What the fuck are you talking about? What is racism, Pmar?
It's a trick. It's a made up
No,
word.
no, it's not.
All words are made up.
It's
He's
either-
trolling. You might as well
it's
put him
either
in
right
backstage,
and
man.
wrong.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
really
Okay.
trolling. At this point, it's
A-
bullshit. Yeah. That's bullshit.
A castle
Yeah,
is
you're
a
gonna-
house,
you're
but a
going on
house is
timeout
not
for a
necessarily.
minute, P. Mars.
Well,
A castle is a house, but a house is not necessarily a castle. All racism is immoral, but not
What, did
all
you bring
immoral
back
things are
or not?
racism.
I didn't know. Did you?
I
I think.
tried to
You
put
put a.
him backstage for a minute, but somehow
Yeah,
he got
I did
right
it at
back
the same
in.
time. I did it at the same time.
Oh, we were
so-
both trying to put him back there. Okay. Look, P. Mars, we won't put you backstage if you'll just shut up for a minute.
Well,
okay?
I put him backstage. So
Okay, all right.
hey,
Well, here's
let-
the
let-
thing I want to find
just
out.
a second,
from-
John, just a second. All right, so just a second. I am going to take off briefly. I would like people to have a good conversation. P. Mars is a troll. Put the link in the chat while I'm gone so other people can come in.
All right.
And I want the audience to understand that this is not a serious conversation about race. P. Mars is not a serious interlocutor. And he's only here so long as the room wants him. And I heard Skylar say put him backstage. I want good conversation tonight. And we can have our laughs so long as it's funny. But you know, P
Well, I
Mars
don't
is
know.
he's only funny for so long. But yeah, John, you're running the show. I'll be back in like 30 minutes.
And it's not my channel, guys. Do what you want. I don't want to like feel like I'm telling you guys what to do. Or anything.
I wonder if you got that trick from Skylar like I did, because I thought that was beautiful when I watched the stream with Joe. It's like anytime Joe wouldn't shut up, he just put him backstage and let him cool off for a minute and bring him back.
I from what I saw of the Joey Cockroach show this morning, I mean that shit was fucking funny. So
he got so mad.
Yeah,
he was so mad. He did not. I don't know if he didn't think I was going to be able to do that, but like the fact I control it, and you know what? He deleted most of those videos about me afterwards. Like,
oh,
he completely
really?
backed off.
Wow.
Yeah, like all the 5 trash talking videos. So I think it did something to him. But
yeah,
anyway,
that was great. But I will be back half an hour tops, John.
All right. So here's what I'm trying to find out from you, P. Mars. I'll bring you back into the room and let you answer, and you better directly answer my question. Is your argument that racism, because of all these conspiracy theories you bring up, racism doesn't exist, or I'm sorry, slavery, you say that's immorality. So does racism not exist, or do you think that racism is okay? That if someone feels like they hate a particular ethnicity or group of people, you don't find that to be immoral? I'm bringing it back in.
Yeah, I'd like to ask him a question too. Like, all right, there are 2 things.
Let him answer my question. Let him answer my question first, though, please. Unmute yourself, P. Mars. You must be AFK. Go ahead, Bob.
No, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm back. What's up?
All right. Did you hear my question?
I got to run later. Guys.
No, sorry. I was.
All right. So, is it that you're claiming that there's no racism because of all these conspiracy theories you bring up, that they're just making us believe that there's racism, or is it that you don't think racism exists?
Okay,
actually, I said that wrong.
Believe,
are you? Or wait a minute. No, that was. I said that wrong again. I fucked up. Or that you don't believe racism is immoral?
No, I think there's angry people that do hate other people because of the color of their skin, but I don't think it's like a huge issue. I think it's inflated to be this big issue. I think it's probably a very small amount of people that feel that way, and the people that feel that way get like demonized and attacked by everyone. So
you do understand. You do understand. You just described racism. When someone hates someone else because of the color of their skin, that is racism.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so you agree there is racism?
Well, the problem is racism has become this like political ideology thing that I don't agree with. So like I think there's either right and wrong, right? I could say someone shooting someone because of their skin color is wrong or whatever, or shooting someone for any reason is wrong. But it's just like I think it's better to describe things as either right and wrong, and leave the whole like we should ignore skin color.
All right, describe the Jim Crow law when black kids couldn't learn to read. There was a law saying they couldn't learn to read. Okay, but white kids were allowed to learn to read, right? Explain how that is. There's 2 different opposing sides there. So it should be wrong for both sides. So if you're going to make it wrong for black kids not to read, then it should be wrong for white kids not to read. But you can see a clear difference. Explain that.
Well, I mean, it's wrong to create a law based on skin color. It's wrong to oppress people. Like
that's racism. Okay, that is racism. I don't know why you keep saying there's not this thing called racism when you keep telling me racist things with that law.
Because like the system, I don't think the system is racist. Like
the system made the law. What are you talking about? The system made the law.
But not anymore. That was a long time ago.
Yes, that's because more people stood up against it, right?
Right.
And then your whole thing about the slaves and the antebellum slavery, how there were free black men. How many white men were slaves on those plantations?
But I don't think it was about. I don't think slavery.
There was 0. Okay? So your free black man thing is doesn't debunk
Slavery wasn't
being
about
racist.
race. Slavery was about economics. It wasn't about skin color.
Then why didn't they enslave white people down there?
I'm just talking about history, not this like made up
Okay,
history.
no, listen. I'm sorry if you're saying it's about economics and jobs. Why didn't they enslave white people down there?
They did.
No, they didn't.
No, they did. There's
How
a
many
book.
white
There's a
slaves?
book. Do you like books? There's a book. They were white and they were slaves. They enslaved white people were enslaved too. That's why I'm saying slavery isn't a race issue.
Hold on,
Slavery
PMARS,
is an
slow down.
economic issue.
PMARS, slow down. PMARS, just relax, take a breath. What book?
They were white and they were slaves.
That's the name of the book?
Yeah, it's about the white slaves in America.
All right. Were they Irish by any chance? Do you remember?
Probably. I don't remember.
All right. All right. Carry on.
I just don't think slavery is there are people that hate because of skin color, but it's like such a small amount of people and they get demonized. Like I don't think it's an issue in society, and the system, if anything, supports people of color. Like you're more likely to get into college. I think businesses are, especially with what's going on with Black Lives Matter, they're probably looking to hire black people in like managerial positions and I don't look at
Do
sports.
you know why? Do you know why you're more likely to get it? I don't think you are, but you think that black people are more likely to get in college. You know why? Because they passed a law, right?
Yeah,
What's that? What was that law? What's that? Affirmation.
Affirmative action.
Affirmative action. Yes. So black people were not getting into college. They were not allowed in college. So they had to actually pass a law to get people to let them in college.
But that's stupid because now we let people in that don't deserve to be there. Like you should be able to go to college based on how hard you work, not on your skin color. Like why
Everybody should go to college. Everybody should go to college.
It should be based on. No, I don't agree with that. I think no one should. I think college is a waste and just brainwashes you to believe stupid stuff about racism.
Yeah, that's all they teach you in college.
That's what it seems like these days. It's like the
Have you ever been to the doctors?
Yeah.
Well, that's college there.
Yeah.
Okay. A doctor doesn't learn that stuff in high school. You go to college to be a doctor.
You ever
So
talk to a doctor? They're
the
morons.
doctors that. Okay. So no doctors ever saved anybody's life in your family or anybody you know, right? For morons.
No, my mom died. The doctors
all
couldn't
people
save
die,
her 'cause
yes.
They must have
Yeah, my
needed more college education, and then they could have saved
My
mom.
dad
They're
died
too
too from
dumb.
cancer. There's some things they just can't fix. They're
Okay,
not miracle
so-
workers.
They must need more college. They're too dumb.
The book "They Were White and They Were Slaves" was about the Irish that were supposedly the early slaves. It is, from the brief amount of research I've done, is a self-published book by a conspiracy theorist in 1993. So it holds very little weight. No weight.
Yeah, anybody can write a book. If you can put papers on that, that would be nice.
Did anybody come in the room with the intent of bringing up another topic? Because it's an open room. You can bring a topic and talk about anything. Was there anything did any of y'all want to talk about any specific issue? Bob?
I could talk about all kinds of things. I mean, I just
Well, I
watched the
can say,
debate. I
like-
just watched that debate with Batman and Jim today. Oh, that was funny as hell.
Oh, I want to hear about that. Yeah, because here's the thing. I'm tired. We're gonna do that. Hey, P Mars, I'm not going to be bringing you back in, so you might as well skedaddle, buddy. Yeah, tell us about that debate, Bob. I'd really like to hear that.
Oh, well, Jim. Jim was. I think he could do better. He could learn a little bit better, but Batman with the same old precept. The Bible says it's true, and the Bible, says it's true, and basically that's all he had for it. Was on Noah's flood, evidence for Noah's flood. Right?
Okay, yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So Batman, I mean, basically all he kept saying